Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Mad Capper and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Today we are going to do video 3 of our 4-part series on Spider 20 Auto Explained. If you've missed the previous 2 videos, please go check them out on my channel. It's going to explain a lot of the precursor stuff that I like to talk about when talking about the Spider 20 dungeon and some of the things that you can do to kind of give you a little leg up, I would say. The first one and most important, I like going over this every video, the easiest way to improve your Spider 21 runs, improve the levels, the time, the stages, is to go here into your Great Hall. The Great Hall is the best place to get pre-banner accuracy. So if you are trying to level the spider and you're just having problems landing, whether it's, say it's 11, say it's 9, 11, 13, 15, whatever the level is, if you make sure that the champions that you are using, especially your debuff champions, you're focusing accuracy from your Great Hall, that's going to do worlds of difference. And if there's one thing I could turn back time and tell the September 2019 me on what to focus in order to have a better endgame account, it would be to do my arena daily no matter what. Now, I do it. I do not hit 10 coins. See, I'm at 4 now. Before I go to bed, I'll nail those up. When I wake up, I will empty it to 0 again. I do not allow coins to go wasted because the amount that this Great Hall can do for you is paramount to all of your success. And for most of you struggling in the spider, that accuracy line and that crit damage line, those are going to be what's going to get you to the next level. So let's talk about the coin flip method. This is video 3. The video 3 is about coin flip method. Now this is an interesting mechanic that's using some of the mechanics within the game to against itself, really, is how I kind of feel about it. And the linchpin to it is the champion of which you are going to make the champion be hit by the spiderlings. The easiest way is to use a weak affinity champion, but I'm using a neutral affinity champion. If you choose to use a neutral affinity champion, which in this case would be a spirit champion or a void champion, if you choose to do that, you have to make sure they have enough or low enough HP that A, they're going to be attacked, B, they're going to lose at least 25, but probably no more than 30% of their HP each time they get hit by a spiderling. Those are very critical because if you get hit too much, then you're reducing the number of opportunities you have to heal yourself back up. But if you do not get enough, then you will not use the specific mechanic that coins the name, I get it, coins the name, the coin flip method. And we're going to explain it right here for you. So this is Skullcrown. Skullcrown is my coin flip champion. And Skullcrown has very low health. She has 27,476. This makes her the weakest champion that I bring into the Spider 20 for this comp. And the goal here is to have the spiders hit her every time. What makes this work is 3 things. First, she has an AOE A1 that will attack back and heal her up because of number 2, she's wearing lifesteal gear. And number 3, she has, and I changed her masteries just for you guys because I usually have her in crit damage so that I can use her in arena, but I've changed her for you. And 3 is that she's got a Warmaster. There are certain champions that may have a 3-hit A1 return that you'll want Giant Slayer, but for most part, Warmaster is the better choice here. And when she procs Warmaster and she has an AOE A1 and she gets hit, this is what makes it work. This is the coin flip. Has a 50% chance to counterattack when this champion loses 25% of their max HP or more from a single enemy skill. So a spiderling hits you, you lose 25%. There's a 50-50 chance you counterattack. When you counterattack, you've got Warmaster and you've got an AOE A1. You're probably going to proc your Warmaster, or you will. I don't think, I mean, probability wise, there is a chance you don't. But even then, I think you'll heal it up. And that's also why I like using Void Affinity, because you're not going to get any weak hits, which means that you're going to, even if you weren't to proc a Warmaster, in the unlikely, minuscule chance that you wouldn't land one, you're still probably going to heal yourself to full because you're doing neutral damage. You're not doing any weak hits against all the spiderlings and the spider itself. Now, this is a little bit of a teetering composition, because it is a 50-50 chance, which means if you're getting hit 4 times, if you can work that perfectly, chances are you're gonna get one where you actually use the skill. But probability is a fickle bitch, as we all know in RNG, especially with Plarium, so there is a chance that this will fail. Everything else about this composition is pretty standard. We're gonna go in there, and if you remember Weak Affinity Tank, this is basically just replacing the Weak Affinity Tank in your composition. So instead of having Rosin, who's here to be hit, and I don't want Miscreated Monster, they have to lose HP. As far as I know, they have to lose HP, so you're going to want her to be by herself. So what I would typically do with this, I don't even remember what composition I used on this one. So we're gonna use Venus. Nah, that's too easy. That's too easy. We're gonna give you a more realistic version here. We're gonna put Tyrell as lead, so that's gonna be your defense down, turn meter reduction. We're gonna give you Sylar. We're gonna give you a Cold Heart. Which one has? That's the top one. Never get it right first try. Ever. Never get it right first try. It's a like, I don't even know. You don't even know, but I don't even know. All right. And I mean, I should use Biggin, but for giggles, for the memes, we're going to use Apothecary. Okay. So what's going to happen here is that the spiderlings are going to attack your Skull Crown. And Skull Crown is going to counterattack, hopefully as many times as humanly possible. And she's going to heal herself up. In the meantime, the rest of your champion's job is to try to kill the spider. Right? Beautiful. Boom. See that counterattack? 50-50 chance. Coin flip. Obviously, that's why they call it a coin flip. There. She missed the first one. Second time she's in. And the odds are 3 times, if you get hit 3 times, you're going to do it at least once. Those are the odds, and you're playing the odds. I do not like this as a farming method because it is too much RNG. You're leaving too much to chance, and you're going to waste too much energy overall. However, if you're trying to pass the arbiter missions and you don't have the champions to do a full farming method here, I absolutely recommend this as a way to get past the spider for your arbiter. As you can see here, she's healing herself up. Missed one. I'm surprised she's got that high resist that she didn't take poison damage there. And there's 2 reasons why you want that HP bar to be around that 27k health. One is so that she gets attacked, but also because you're going to take some poison damage typically, and you want to make sure that the amount of poison damage is really low. Now, the good thing about Skull Crown and the bad thing is when she puts that on, she's safe. The bad thing is you saw exactly what happens is she can actually kill your Cold Heart because the spiderlings will actually change their target when she has that unkillable honor. So this is interesting. I don't know if I'm going to win this fight because our poor Cold Heart died. And I'm receiving a little bit too much damage, and that's probably why. But I think I've tried this several times, and I have passed. So I'm not too worried about it, but it is a little bit unfortunate. So I should bring a Reser, maybe. Maybe Gorgorab. That's annoying. Would you heal her? Thank you. God, God, she was not wanting to see when she's at full health. But look what happens. At some point, they realize that their killing blow is not enough to kill her, and they switch. Isn't that strange? Ah, there you go. So that was a little bit touch and go, and now you see the problem with it. That showed both the advantage of it and the problem of this particular comp. If she did not have the ability to put up her unkillable, she would have died at 2 points during that. And that's the problem with the 50-50 comp. The good news is that you can get through this with relatively inexpensive champions. I used 2 rares and 3 epics here, but actually the original way I had developed this comp, or not developed it, it was done well before me. I shouldn't make it sound like I'm trying to take credit for it. This is a comp I read on Reddit. I apologize, I can't give credit where credit's due because I can't remember who originally posted it. But I used Fellhound, and it was the same theory. Fellhound is a void affinity, so I knew he would heal himself. I put him with a good crit rate, good crit damage, and his A1 is an AOE. And so when he got attacked, it's the exact same comp as this, just a different champion. He doesn't have an unkillable. The problem with him is that every once in a while he'll put up an immortal on himself, and then Spiderlings got confused as well. But I digress. The point being is that at the end of the day, it worked, and it got me through many dungeons. Actually, I think it got me through 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. One of them I used Molly. So the point being is that this coin flip method is definitely a method you can use. I do not recommend it for farming, but I definitely recommend it if you don't have a better option, if you don't have one of the first 2 options to be able to get past the arbiter missions. This is going to be one of the, oddly enough, one of the quickest videos I've done on this, but it's very simple. All the rest of the stuff, you just want sustain, damage, turn meter reduction. I mean, this same comp, instead of putting apothecary, I'd probably put in a biggin, you know, maybe a biggin and 2 cold hearts instead of a Sylar, and I could get this done really quickly. I could definitely put a Venus instead of having Tyrell as lead. I mean, there's lots of options I have, but I wanted to show something where you can use champions that are a little more accessible, so I didn't want any legendaries on it, and I wanted to make sure that you can see that this is definitely probably what many of you will end up using to get Arbiter if you do not get those kind of key champions for Spider 20. Like I said, it's a pretty simple method. Let's go over it one more time really quickly. This is my Skull Crown. This is her stats. You want about 27k health. I think 27 to 29,000 is the sweet spot for that 25%. If you find that she's not countering, you've probably got too much HP, so lower the HP. If you find that she can't withstand, she's dying after 3 hits, you don't have enough HP, so that's the balance. Defense, I have her defense, whatever. Again, look at the defense. If you're not taking 25% damage, look at her defense as a possible way to finagle that. Her speed is really irrelevant because it's based on her counterattack on retribution. Her crit rate should be 100%. I don't know why mine's at 80. I probably have just messed around with her so much. 210 crit damage is just enough damage that she's going to kill some Spiderlings. Obviously, in a perfect world, I'd give her even more crit damage and make sure she's at 100% crit rate so she can clear those Spiderlings. And, you know, the fewer the Spiderlings, the better. The less times you have to worry about that coin flip, the better. You need her in lifesteal gear. So however configuration you figure that out, you do not need accuracy, but I happen to have her in accuracy because I've got a 20% attack substat on that, so I don't think that's ever going to change. And finally, in the masteries, the key pieces here is that you have a Warmaster and you have a retribution. And any champion who's weak or neutral affinity, or I guess technically you could even do strong affinity, so long as all your champions are strong affinity or your neutral affinity champions have enough HP to overcome the fact that the champions are going to want to attack them first. So you'd have to really finagle the comp if you're using a strong affinity counterattack champion. AOE champions are not critical, but I suspect this would be a difficult comp to do if you were using a single target A1 champion. So, you know, when we talk about what champions to use, I did mention Fellhound. is a good champion to use. Weak affinity, Nezana is a good champion to use because she's got an AOE A1. She is an HP based champion, so she's also a really good weak affinity tank, but if you lower her HP down and you give her the same abilities, she can definitely be a weak affinity tank for you. Like I said, oops, sorry, Hound spawned. Fellhound. Fellhound is the one I used, again, AOE A1. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other options out there that I just have never tried or used. But again, as long as they have an AOE A1 and can heal themselves back up using Warmaster, lifesteal gear, and the retribution, you should be able to make this comp happen for you. Good luck out there. I hope you get your arbiter. I appreciate you coming to the channel. I am trying to get my subscriber base up there, so if you have any friends that haven't subscribed to me, please get them to. At 500 subscribers, I will be giving away a $50 Amazon gift card, and at 1,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away a $100 Amazon gift card. So please subscribe, like, share with your friends, and most importantly, be kind to each other. Practice social distancing. Let's go through this COVID-19 pandemic together and have a wonderful evening. I'm gonna go to bed.